Welcome to Bioshock 2. And I thought I'd just go through the intro. Because people love intros. I think they do. I'll stay quiet.
Look, Daddy, it's you. Let's go out to play, Daddy. More angels, Daddy. This way.
Come with us, little girl.
You want some, big guy? Bigger than hard, harder than hard. Get out of here, freak!
There we are. He's perfectly safe now. This is not your daughter. Do you understand? Her name is Eleanor, and she is mine. Now, kneel, please. Remove your helmet. Now, take the pistol. Place it against your head. Fire.
Hello, can you hear me? You're sick.
Alright. So, gone through the intro. And honestly, this is one of the nicest areas. So, we have Bioshock 2. The adventure of a Big Daddy. So, a big mechanized suit. And you're able to access new areas, go underwater. Or go out into the water, because you're already underwater. And if anything, the combat's a little better. I mean, that's not too hard to do, but yeah, it's different. So one of the strengths of this game is they didn't just retread old ground by playing as another guy. They went, oh, let's be Big Daddy. you do get, you know, different powers and things, and there's a lot more sort of coral and sort of the sea invading the contained city. Oh, stupid crouch is bloody in that. And you do have lots of areas that you go back and forth between. Similar to the first game, you have sections where you've got to, you know, find all the paths to keep going. And the lore recordings. So there's still similarities in, especially with themes, because it is still the same world you're in. It's just that you're much more dangerous because, you know, you're a big daddy. Suitably powerful to suit the situation. So I'll grab a power and show you that. So you get a lot of similar powers, and then a couple different ones, but...
Daddy was sleeping for such a long time, and Eleanor has missed you. Find her and you'll be all better.
So yeah, we have a kind of theme with the father-daughter theme that carries through and goes through the lore, and I'm not going to delve deep into any of that because, you know, again, don't spoil it. Yeah, the stupid jumping with triangle. But it's much more like time has passed and the facility is breaking down more and more. The city itself, you know, is wearing down and needs to, you know, it would have needed constant maintenance to have any sort of chance at, you know, perpetual life under the sea. And it's just not really, I mean, it's a bit unrealistic, to be frank. So there's a bit more dual wielding in this, so you can, you know, shoot lightning and fire the, you know, the melee at the same time, and it's just a bit more, it makes more sense. Oh, I can't remember the code.
Righteous are your judgments, O Lord.
But the combat is still sluggish, you're still, you know, you're still a Mack truck, even bigger, I suppose, Mack truck, but it's... And you've got the, you see the HUD is, you're looking through the visor of your big suit. For some reason I still take fall damage. Okay. So, where's a good spot to... Let's go back here, just because this starter zone, this little spot here, is actually one of the nicest parts. It's kind of weird that. It's a good spot for a thumbnail. Okay, so let's position this up quite well here. So do. Okay. So the story, I think it's pretty good. As good as the first one? Probably, yeah. You do, you know, want to save the little girls and save your daughter, where you think is your daughter, and there's a kind of a bit of a mind sort of thing going on. But there always is with Bioshock. Some sort of mental games. But it's... Graphics have improved, naturally, it's the second one. The theme is still the same, but it just adds a bit more water elements to it. A bit more, you know, coral things all around, glowing coral. It's kind of it persists through the game in some sections. And then later on there's a lot more heavy combat later on in the game, as usual. You don't have the photograph system? I don't think, you don't have the photograph. You just have better melee. And, you know, plenty of guns, flamethrowers, bigger, heavier guns as well. So that's kind of the the reward for being a big character is you can, hold bigger weapons. More of the same, but it's still really good. So it's kind of like, it's not overdone or anything. I think the way they handle it, the underwater sections where you travel in the open area, they're quite good. The menus and everything's still the same theme, which is nice. Sort of maintain a consistency across the UI themes. And I feel like with these two, the series is really complete. Your time underwater is done. I feel like you go, yep, that'll do. And then we'll go talk about the third game. But again, the music is the same as before, still really good. Again, it's not as iconic because it's the second game and you have sort of repetition of themes and repetition of musical styles. But it does have, trying to do the emotional heartstrings with the little girls and, trying to do sort of pulling different emotional levers than the first game. And then uncovering the mystery of yourself, as always, in Bioshock. Who are you? What is your place in this world? So yeah. And I didn't want to spoil any of it, so this is where I started with the intro and the new game, just to make it, seem nicer. But yeah, that should pretty much do it. What else is there to talk about? There's collectibles. There's all the lore stuff. Lore is really deep as well. Keeps going. And I feel like these two games are together, the set, and that's it. It's happiness. Happiness, these two. So is this a must play like the first one? Less. Because again, it's always the same with sequels, unless they're really, 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 really well done. But it's still a really, really good game. So I think I'll maintain the nature of things and give this an 8 out of 10. People may say it's just as good as the first one, but again, the first time is always, in terms of games and in themes, the first exposure to the new theme is always the most iconic. This one isn't as iconic, isn't as memorable, but it's still memorable in its own way. So it's still good. I love that they did, shake it up by having you play as a different style of character. So you have the heavy feet and your big weapons, and you just, it's like, it is a it feels like a progression of the first one, because the first one you're so weak, and then you get stronger and stronger, but this one you're just strong from the start, and you get stronger and stronger, but the enemies sort of balance it out a little bit. Again, the depth of the enemies, and the lore of the enemies, the lore is there, but I don't know, I don't feel like the enemies are as iconic for the most part. There's so much anonymous mobs and things. I find anonymous mobs to be, having played games for a long time, anonymous mobs can kind of lose a little value, which is where I think the Nier Automata style, where the anonymous mobs actually have, their own characters and personalities and concerns, and there was just a language barrier that shielded you from them. I kind of feel like that's something that other games should have looked at more seriously. I mean, Last of Us tried, having them yell out the names of their teammates, but then they just killed so many, it was just stupid. And they had a non-lethal option and more depth and stuff. It would have been better. But yeah, so again, you're still killing anonymous crazy people, and what are they doing? What's their purpose? Why are they locked in those sections? Where are they trying to go? None of that matters, really. But a great game. You can go back and play it. I recommend, if you play the first one, definitely play the second one. So it's kind of like, if you get through the first one and you actually do play through it, then yeah, you'll enjoy the second one. There's no doubt about that in my mind. So yeah, I know. Is there a photo mode? No, there is not. This game needs a photo mode. Alright, that'll do. It's been Frosted Fire 10. Looking back in order to look forward, because we've got the new game that's coming out that's by the same designers. So interesting to see what sort of things they've learnt from the first two and the third game. So yeah, that'll do. It's been Frosted Fire 10. Why does it always pause it when I do that? Yeah, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. Which do you think number 2 is better than number 1? Or number 1 is better than number 2 and there's no argument? You know, what do you think of the... I mean, it's good to be back in this world. You're not really... I don't know. I feel like the way you maneuver through this world, it's not... It doesn't really show the whole city. It never has. And they've never really done a good job of showing the whole city. Because it's just the way that you're in such narrow passageways going from A to B to C to D. And then you've got to go back a bit. And then get to the part and then go back there. It is just, you know... It's linear web design, I suppose. So it's slightly interconnected zones, and then you come back, and then you go forward, and then you're in another sort of zones, and they go left and right. You're going to go left first, and then you go right, and then you're on to the next one, which is as old as time, really. Which it's totally understandable because they want to, you know, decorate the walls. So much of it is still linear, but you just decorated the walls to make them look much nicer. But that's okay, you know. Still maintains in horror games to this day, really, that sort of style. They can't really transcend in some aspects, but we'll see what happens in the future, whether they can evolve. But yeah, it's been Frosted by 10. Leave a like. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you'd like the games, like the series. If you didn't like the series at all, couldn't get into them, that'd be interesting to hear. People, you know, if they didn't get into it, what stopped them? Was it just a bit too janky with the combat at times? Your movements just to being a truck, and even a bigger Mack truck in this one. I'm interested to hear. Yeah. Like if you like the game. Joke. Alright then, this has been Frosted by 10. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time for the final game in the series here. Bioshock Infinite. That's going to be a much longer video. For not good reasons. Dun dun dun. Okay. Yeah, non-spoilery review. Catch you next time. Bye bye.